What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about a topic that is often brought up during my polyglot investigations, but I didn't really think about addressing it or presenting my thoughts on it until this video was dropped in my Discord. It's called, Was I Calling Out Salma NYC for False Perfect Chinese Polyglot Claims in Videos? And it's actually quite an old video. And I watched it and I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's something I should probably present my opinions on, because I don't have a black or white opinion on this matter. So what's he talking about here? First up, he's talking about the very, very common clickbait title you've all seen before, which is like, white guy shocks locals with perfect X language. You know the title I'm talking about. These are the videos that absolutely blow their nuts off in the YouTube algorithm. Like, they just go hard. People love this shit. In all honesty, I have no clue why. I don't enjoy watching them. I just feel like it's a waste of my time when I could be learning a language or doing something else. But there is no denying the fact that these videos go hard. People love them. So I understand why pretty much every YouTube polyglot out there does these videos. And like all the good degenerates out there, I will join them one day with my perfect video where I'll be like, white guy shocks locals with perfect Esperanto. That's gonna go great. Maybe I'll pull it off in a European country, so they'll just assume I'm speaking some other European language. But anyway, I want to present my thoughts on this because it is a topic that is brought up a lot during the polyglot discussions and the videos that I make. So, am I against this? Let's just say straight up, am I against these types of titles? Well, no, straight up, I'm not. Now, here's the reason why. Because on YouTube, you need to have clickbait titles. I don't care how good your content is. And in fact, it's not me not caring. No one cares how good your content is if you have a shit thumbnail and a shit title. Do you know how I know? Because when I first transitioned to doing English videos, I just made the thumbnail whatever was the first frame of my video. So it could literally just be me going like that type of thing, and just gave it some generic boring ass title. And guess what? Those videos got absolutely no views. And I kept doing that for ages just due to the fact that I was a lazy motherfucker. Now, eventually I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to create some proper titles. And as soon as I did, views just doubled. And then once I created thumbnails, it was just I just started growing. And I was like, okay, well, I guess you gotta do the clickbait grind if you want to do the YouTube grind. It's just a matter of the fact. Now, obviously, people don't like clickbait, but they keep clicking on clickbait. Therefore, it keeps spreading. It's like a virus. You cannot avoid it anymore, okay? So, now, what is my opinion on the whole title? Because obviously they're looking at the title here of white guy or white girl, okay? That's the titles that people rage against. And it's usually, when some white guy goes to Asia and then he gets the reactions of, oh my God, you speak so well type of thing. And this obviously blows up among monolinguals, but anyone who speaks the language is usually just like, does he really speak it that great? And if he does actually speak it that good, you start thinking, well, are the locals just being over the top? When realistically, it's just their culture to give you that type of reaction until you get to a stage where you're just so good at it, you don't get that reaction anymore. And which is what Stuart's talking about here, is because he works in Thailand, and if he gets that reaction, he knows he's done something wrong. They don't consider him as fluent as a native anymore. Now, regarding the whole title, I don't even have any issue with, white guy shocks locals, or white girl shocks locals, or black guy, or friggin' yellow guy shocks white locals. I don't give a shit about any of that, realistically. I do not care. Now, here's what I do care about, is when someone does these types of videos and they don't actually speak the language. So if you can speak the language at a B2+, let's say, around that level where you can actually have proper conversations with people, go ahead and make those videos. You know why you should go ahead and make those videos and feel like you can make those videos? Because you earned the goddamn right, okay? You went out and learnt that language. Now, you're not perfect, but you earned the right to be able to make those videos and pop off in the YouTube algorithm. I'm not going to stop you, okay? Just like freaking everyone else out there, one day I'll do my Esperanto shock one. No, joking. But this is where it annoys me, when you don't speak the language, or you speak it at the most basic of a level, just high enough to be able to memorize a couple of sentences, and then you use that. Because now, it's, in my mind, being someone who's, served in the military, I see it as basically stolen valor. You have not earned that right yet. Okay, until you can actually speak that language at least at a B2+ level, so at least at a level where you can easily have conversations, and I don't mean just about, what you've traveled and what you've eaten and you need to take a shit type of stuff. I mean, you can have proper conversations. And even then at a B2, I'd be a bit iffy, okay? So when I look at these videos, I look at it more from the perspective of, has this person earned the right to do it? So for example, Salma, I'd say he's earned the right to be able to do these ones in Chinese. I have no problem with him making those videos in Chinese. But then when he does it in a language which he clearly does not speak, he's only like studied it for a week and he even says it in those cases, he hasn't earned that right. That's stolen valor to me. There's someone out there who's actually spent years learning that language and they're not getting basically the exposure and the attention that they deserve if they want it, that they deserve for being able to do that. And basically, you can drown them out just due to the massive size of your YouTube channel and the fact that by dropping a video to millions of followers, you're guaranteed to basically drown out the competition. And the competition may actually be people who have legitimately spent years learning that language. That's what annoys me. So when people like, Oriental Pearl do videos in Japanese and Chinese, they've earned that, well, she's earned that right. She speaks those languages. Very well, might I add. Now, is she perfect? No, but she at least speaks the goddamn languages. But when you get those people who don't, or they speak just a little bit, that's where it starts getting iffy to me. And that's where I basically start calling out people as frauds. So that is my opinion on the matter. I'd love to know what you guys think about this and if you have like the same kind of nuanced view as I do, or if you're just more black and white on the matter. Now, I know some people will also look at this as like some type of, racism or cultural type of thing. For me, that's all just bullshit, okay? I do not see it that way. I don't care what race you are. Like if it's a yellow person doing it to white people, and I know that's the one people go to because they're like, oh, you never see it from white people. Well, that's because as sad as it is, or like maybe it's not sad, it's just the truth of the matter, everyone's expected to speak English if you're in an English country. It's just the expected way of the world, okay? Now, if China was the ruling elite of the world, and everyone was kind of just expected to learn Mandarin Chinese, I guarantee you those Shock the Local videos would not exist. The locals would just speak to you and then probably insult you for your shitty Chinese accent and say, go back to wherever you came from and do a proper lesson, you uncultured fuck. That's literally what would happen. Like, it would happen no matter who's dominant. So unfortunately, you can't shock local speakers of English because, well, you're just expected to speak it. And I know that's a sad take, but that is the reality of the situation. And again, love to hear your thoughts on the matter, and I'll see you all in the next video. And if you're not there, well, the next thing you're going to get is this white guy in your room shocking the local in the middle of the night at 1 a.m. going, Bonjour, mon ami, comment allez-vous?